get in here, child. Hey, beautiful.
Hello, hello, hello. How are
How
you?
are you? I didn't know. Look, if I'd have known we was camming up, child, I'd have put on my good cam up wig.
I
I'd
can
have
calm
been,
down. It don't make me no
no,
difference.
you look beautiful. Stay right there. Stay
Oh,
right
thank
there.
you.
Welcome everybody. This is our first, hopefully weekly Auntie
Yeah.
show with Auntie
Yes.
Mickey and Auntie Val. You are welcome. Come in, have a seat.
Come on in the room.
Come on. Hey, Monique. Hey, Pamela.
Hello, everybody. Good to
Hey,
see y'all.
Poetic Expressions. Y'all see this beautiful girl up here on my
Oh,
screen?
bless your heart. Thank you, sweetheart. You as
Taquilla
well.
said, "Not double aunties tonight.
Double
Auntie,
aunties tonight. Yes. Yes.
double aunties, child. We came to serve it up for y'all.
Yes,
Give y'all
ma'am.
a little bit of grounding. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The best, the best we can, because we're
The
gonna cut up
best.
too. We're gonna cut up.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. So what's going on, Auntie Mickey?
Not much. I'm just grateful to be here.
I
Grateful to be
know.
here. One day above ground. Another day above ground is a good day.
Another day's journey, ain't it right?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
indeed. I was
Yeah.
thinking about what we were talking earlier about when you get to be our age and you over 50, and
Ooh.
that's supposed to be the easy side of life.
Child, I didn't hit the over 60 part.
Look, you're not 60, are you?
I'll be 64 next month.
Auntie Mickey, what?
I'll be 64 next month.
Girl,
9/11.
that's your birthday?
That's my birthday,
Well, you look
9/11.
amazing, girl. You
Thank you,
look
sweetheart.
absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
To all our nieces and nephews that are in the bushes trying to decide if y'all want to join in, come on down and get in here.
Yes,
Get in
sir.
here, get in here. We're not gonna bite y'all. We gonna talk. Y'all give us some topics y'all might want to ask some seasoned women.
Okay.
Um, I know that Auntie Mickey and myself are both married. Auntie Mickey, how long have you been married?
Oh man, 40. Wait. We've been married for 37, 38 years. We've been
Okay.
together for almost 50.
Ain't
Going
that
on.
how it work?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
how me and my husband
Matter
work.
of fact, he's right here in the chat. Barry
Is
Ray.
it?
Yep. Yep. Barry Ray is my husband.
Hey, Barry Ray.
Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
hey, Barry Ray, my new brother. How are you, sir? Thank you for loaning me your beautiful wife this evening. We're not gonna stay forever. We just gonna stay long enough.
Long enough. He was really excited to see this collaboration too. He
Oh,
really
was he?
was. Yeah, because I
I'm
told
so
you.
glad.
I told you he
Yes.
you caught him the other day when you was preaching.
Uh-huh.
You
Well,
caught
at
him.
least at least he got an idea what I'm like. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
he enjoyed you.
you know what? I think we had talked about the Nolan um
Nolan
Wells
Wells.
case. We had
Mhm.
talked about, and auntie, listen, auntie, I could not go back and look. I was
Mhm.
so frustrated and so upset with the way that the case was going. I think I told you that
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
tendency to grab a hold to cases like this, and I just can't let go. So
It's
I
deep.
decided I would listen to what you have to say, and then we can kind of talk about it.
Okay. Well, let me first say that it is a very heavy, heavy topic.
Yeah.
And I've covered topics similar to this in the past, but this one just hit me a different kind of way. It
Yeah.
really did. Because I can sympathize with that mother. You know,
Yes.
I lost my son to drowning
Oh no, did
eight,
you?
yeah, 8 years ago. And I don't
Oh,
really like to bring it up a lot because, you know, a lot of people have already heard the story
yeah,
and
yeah, I understand.
it's very triggering, but to lose your son
Yeah.
and not know how.
Not
You know,
no.
Mississippi is playing some real stupid games. and
Yeah.
try to get some stupid prizes.
So tell me this. So far, they haven't arrested anybody.
Not a one.
How is that possible?
Well, as it turns out, these boys that Nolan was hanging out with,
Uh-huh.
they were part of the elite families in that little town they live in of Ocean Springs.
Okay.
So Nolan was the only black kid amongst the four of them. Well, actually,
Mm,
there was apparently a lot more than them. It seems like the story keep changing. You
yeah,
know, the
yeah,
math ain't mathing, but
right.
he was the only one amongst them among the four. He's the only one that didn't make it back. And the behavior of these young white men, I'm not gonna call them boys. They grown men.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Their behavior was immediately suspect.
Yeah.
They turned off all social media. They just and their parents did too.
Yeah, that was so telling to me. Um,
Man,
that was so telling because if he was such a good friend of everybody's family, you would think everybody would want to stay on social media to keep contact, find
exactly.
out, what's going on, what's the newest developments and stuff. So yeah, when they started turning off social media, I said, well, that right there tells us everything we need to know.
Absolutely. And the fact that one of the boys, men, I'm sorry, the one
Uh-huh.
that talks the most, you know,
Yeah,
that Warren dude,
the
his
one with the
mama,
nose.
his
Mhm.
mama is his stepmama is the judge.
Oh, okay. So
She's the
she's sending
judge.
him out there to run his mouth
Pretty
then.
much. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. I don't know where they're getting their advice from, but they've been making some major foolish steps. And I mean, if you're being suspected by the world,
Right.
because this is worldwide now. This ain't
Right.
just Mississippi. This ain't just the United States. This is literally just encompass the whole world. People all over the place are zoomed in on this case.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's not even in, I mean, it's still under investigation.
Yeah.
It's not even to the point where they've brought charges on anybody. They haven't even decided to bring charges. And the DA, the governor, the DA, the mayor, the judge, all
All
these
stand
people
together.
are all standing together. They're all family related. They're all connected.
Oh
And,
my
you know,
goodness.
we know what Mississippi is all about.
Yeah.
You know, this is a history of systemic racism, and
Yeah.
it's going back for decades.
Oh, for
And
sure. Yeah.
this isn't something that goes away as people get younger because all they do is they pass it on to their kids.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this right quick. Poetic
Mhm.
Expression said Warren is out here looking bad. The guilt is
Oh,
kicking. Yeah, that yeah, now look, Auntie
ooh,
Vicky said she ain't gonna call him a boy. He looked like a 50-year-old man.
he looked like
He
he's
looks
withering
bad.
away.
Yes. He
He
looks
is
like he hasn't
withering.
eaten since this whole thing started. And
Yep.
I would think as a mom, I would think that trying to convince because even if these boys did come home and say something terrible happened, mom, we were trying to get Nolan on the boat. He
Mhm.
was drunk, he fell, he hit his head,
Right.
whatever could have really happened. I would want for my children, my boys, to feel protected in knowing that
Exactly.
and I'm gonna make you do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Hold on just a second, sweetheart. This window's open and I know you hear that all that noise outside. So let me go close the window real quick. I'll be
Okay,
right back.
okay.
It
But
never
yeah,
fails. Always
so
happens.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, y'all. I'm just like, there is no way that me as a mom would be okay with having my son out here just worn down by the world.
Sorry
Um,
about that.
that's okay. But yeah, I
Yeah.
was just saying the same thing. You just think that the parents would have, if they were of good mind and spirit, they would have
Yeah.
chosen to get those boys out there looking for their friend
Yep.
and telling the truth, whatever the truth is. It might not be what anybody wants to see or hear, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagining is far worse on a
It's
mother.
awful, and that poor family, I mean, that mother, that father, you know, the media tends to lean more in favor of the mother. I understand that, but this is a married couple. He was the daddy just like she was the mama, and he's
Uh-huh.
grieving just as bad as she is. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's it really bothers me that the integrity of not just these boys. You see, these boys are basically emanating what's been raising them. They
Yeah.
don't care. They not
Mhm.
like us. They not like
Exactly.
us.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for them to make the moves that they do outwardly and arrogantly, it just
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't get over it. I can't get over it. It infuriates me every time I look at those boys. Men. I'm sorry, men.
Yeah.
But yeah, about Warren. Warren is literally being eaten up inside. He's
Yeah.
being
You
eaten
can tell.
alive.
You can
Yeah.
tell he might be, even though his stepmom is the judge, he might be the one to go ahead and crack open and tell the truth, because they're putting him out here to make all of these, it's almost like throw confusion at what's
Yes.
already not understood. And so he makes all
Exactly.
of these comments about how great they were and how close they were and how he was always here and there. And I'm like, well, I know my boys' friends. And
Mm-hmm.
so I thought it was very telling when Nolan's mom was like, I don't know these boys.
Exactly.
You
And then
know,
they want to snap and start talking crazy about her.
yes,
Imagine that.
I could not believe, but even some of us turned on her a little bit. I was watching a um, blogger a couple of weeks ago, and
Mm-hmm.
in his chat, the black girls were kind of like, well, everything is not racial, and she needs to be prepared, to hear the worst, and maybe he was drinking, and maybe and I'm like, at least we need to act like we believe that Nolan
Exactly.
was just out there having a good time. Because
Exactly.
why wasn't he just out there having a good time? Why does it have to be any underlying anything other than that? He went out
Exactly.
with his friends. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they went to have a good time, and
Mm-hmm.
something terrible happened. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
so
what really, really gets me
hey
is
Pam,
that the behavior, like I said from the very beginning, has been real suspect. And their words say one thing, but their actions speak another. Now, if that's the friend that you claim he was, wouldn't
right?
you have gone to the funeral?
Mm,
But the excuse was, well, we didn't want to draw attention to ourselves. This was
uh-huh.
the parents' day. We were afraid somebody might jump us, beat us up. Okay,
Oh,
you guys are coming from very, very rich families. Hire security. If you're
right,
that concerned
right.
about if you're concerned about your well-being, hire security to go bury
Exactly.
your brother that you claim is
Yes,
your
your
brother.
your brother, your good friend.
Hmm.
And you would think that, yes, Matt, we live again, honey. I done brought my good sis. We having auntie time. You get in here and
Auntie
watch the
Pam.
chat for me. Y'all come on in. Hey Kai. Yeah, me and Auntie Mickey, we just gonna talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. But we had spoken before about Nolan, and so I did want to kind of touch on that,
Hmm.
because we both are seasoned mothers who have sons, have
Hmm.
had known their friends, had our children go out and hang out with their friends and come home. And I often think about when I was growing up, my great grandmother,
Hmm.
she had a son
Hmm.
that actually got into some trouble with some boys. And this was
Hmm.
years ago, and
Hmm.
they were Caucasian boys, and they ran off and they left him.
Hmm.
And he had a hard time, with the people. This is down in Alabama now,
Uh-huh.
in the 70s, 80s, and he had a very hard time with the people that came to, how can I put this, see who really caused the problem. Well, he was the
Mm.
only black man, young black man, 17 at the
Mhm.
time. None of his friends went back to even say they were there when it
Mhm.
happened.
Mhm.
And so he ended up actually going to jail for quite a while in Alabama.
Wow.
And it wasn't even something that back then I think would have gotten you put in jail for, but
Mhm.
because he was a young black man by himself, he
Mhm.
claimed all these white boys were his friends, and they
Mm.
all left. They all
Mm.
left. And so, there was nobody to show up for any hearing. Nobody reached out to my grandmother,
Mm.
and she had, taken care of some of these boys. And so, it comes down to
That's
we
sad.
we have got to learn how to stick together like they do.
Absolutely.
We cannot win until we start sticking together like they do. Because you can
That's
call them
right.
crazy, you can call them rednecks, you can call them all of these things. But honey, when the rubber meets the road, they
Okay.
make up for one another.
They sure
And
are.
I
They
just
sure
I
are.
just really wish that we could do that more often than not. I
Well,
think that no, go
we
ahead.
are all we have. At
Yes.
the end of the day, we are all we have.
Yes.
Each other. And that's not just racially, but in many cases economically,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of the times they go hand in hand. You
Yeah.
know, if you
Yeah.
ain't got no money and you black, you screwed
That's right.
in the eyes
That's
of this
right.
country.
Yeah.
It's
Because
sad.
that's how we are set apart, right? So if you divide the country is divided by either
Mhm.
race or economically.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
sometimes we on the, short end of both of that, and we suffer because of it. But I
Yeah.
do believe that if we would support one another more, I always
Mhm.
go back to 9/11. And I
Mhm.
think back to knowing exactly where I was that day.
Oh, me
I
too.
remember I had dropped one of my boys off at school. One
Mhm.
um, was homeschooling, so he was at piano that morning. And then my other boys were younger. And
Mhm.
I can remember a Caucasian man running up to me at the gas station and
Mm.
grabbing my arm, and it caught me off guard. And I looked at him and he said, "Hey," he said, "Have you heard about what's going on? Um, with in New York?" And I said, "No." And he said, "You might want to turn your radio on." So I turned my radio on in the car and I'm listening, and I'm
Mhm.
calling my husband. I'm like, I'm going back to pick up the kids because I don't know what's going on. But
Mhm.
there was so much camaraderie in the streets between every shade of American that,
Absolutely.
even though it was a terrible time and a horrible
Mhm.
time, it made us feel like we could one day
We came
one.
together.
Yes.
We came
Yes.
together.
For
I can
sure.
remember where I was. I was working at the airport at the time, of all
Mhm.
places, and it was my birthday. It was my 39th birthday,
Yes.
and I worked the day shift at the time, and I had to be to work at 6 a.m. So of course, New York City is 3 hours ahead of me, and I
Yeah.
would always watch the Today Show or Good Morning America, one of them morning shows that are aired in New York. So I saw this happen live. I mean, in real time. I
Yeah.
didn't see the first plane.
Right, right.
And I remember
That
waking my
second one, I
husband up.
remember that second
Girl,
one.
listen, I my husband was asleep. He had just pulled a 16-hour shift,
Yeah.
and my boys were asleep. One was in their room, the other one was asleep on the living room floor. And I'm getting ready for work, and I saw that second plane hit, and
Mm.
I'm like, this
Yes.
ain't, nope, this
Uh-uh.
wasn't no accident here. I'm
No.
waking my husband up, and he's like, what? I'm like, look, they didn't attack the World
Right.
Trade Center.
Mhm.
So I still had to go to work that day, and we had to evacuate my department. I worked for ground transportation at the time. We
Yeah.
had to we had to evacuate all those people out of the airport,
Yeah.
shut down the whole airport. That was the worst work day of my entire life.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
I'll never forget it though. It was
And
crazy.
And in the same, with the same love of human beings, I remember the coming home and seeing that second plane, and immediately just thinking about all the people that I could possibly think about. That, I mean, we have some family that stayed in New York at the time.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I remember thinking about them, but I was just thinking about everybody. It was like so many people were on your mind.
Yeah.
The people on the plane, the people,
Oh God.
on the ground, the people, and it didn't matter what anybody looks like, because they had attacked us. They had not picked out a color. They had not
Mm-hmm.
picked out an economic background.
Right.
They chose American, and whether we liked
Americans.
it or not,
Yep.
that was us.
Yep.
And that union lasted for a while. I want to say a couple of years. We were,
It did.
our flags and our windows on the cars and on the
Mm-hmm.
homes, and we just stood for America. Now, it
Yeah.
was not always fair to other ethnicities that,
Mm-hmm.
or other countries who were not American. The people
Mm-hmm.
here had a hard time, I know, but for American people, it was just like, hey, clearly they're after us, and we have to protect one another.
You stand
Um,
up for one another.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna read this.
Yeah.
Poetic said, I'm a parent, and if your child is on a trip with me and mine, you're coming back with me and mine. You won't be able to tell me you're staying. And that's exactly what I said the other day. I said, now, had Nolan been a white boy and
Huh.
he was going with me and my family, Nolan would
Mm.
have got his butt back on that boat. He'd have probably had a new outfit, to go plate. Girl, he'd have had a to-go plate. He'd have had his hair
Listen,
cut. My
I'm
husband
telling
would
you.
have my husband would have walked his grown butt to the front door and everything else, because we take care of
Listen.
our kids and other folks' kids.
That little white boy would have been the safest one in the
And
entire
yes,
group.
he would have. Yes, he would
That's
have.
one thing I can say for black folks. Look, we will protect them white kids with
Yes.
us, because we
Yes.
don't want no smoke from nobody
We don't
else.
want no problems.
Don't
So we
don't
go
come talking
we go
about you didn't watch out for my child. I'm suing you and all this stuff. Nope,
exactly. Yes. And
nope,
we will swaddle your child up and give it a
absolutely.
bottle if we have to till it get back to you.
Warm it
Okay.
up.
Aquila said it was horrible. I live in New York. The Barney smell is something you can't. Oh wow,
Oh
sis.
God,
See, yeah,
that was
it's the
terrible.
details like that.
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
said my mother didn't check on me. Your mama didn't check on you in New York,
What?
Matt? I don't know. Matt
Oh,
he's something else. Well,
I'm
if your
trying.
mama didn't check, I'm sure she checked on you it within a couple of days at least.
Well, and I understand that it was hard for a lot of people to even get through on telephone lines back
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
because a lot of
yeah.
people were still on landlines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl, we still got a landline in our house. Hey,
Do
Lisa,
you?
we do. A lot of people don't know this, but when my mother passed away in 2020, my mother had guardianship of her sister,
Mm,
and her sister has epilepsy,
mhm.
and she has horrible seizures. She
Oh,
fell off of a bike when she was 10, and
mhm.
she fell into a sewer grate,
Oh,
and she didn't have on a helmet. She was born in 63, so I don't even know if they were required to wear helmets back then. But anyway, she started having horrible seizures. And
mm,
um my mom, after my grandparents passed, my mom just took up the guardianship on her, even though she probably could have lived on her own. But we're just protective like that in our
yeah,
family. So
absolutely.
my mom, had custody, and they did sister stuff. They traveled, they went out to eat, they did all the fun things. But when my mom passed, my
Mm,
mom wanted that guardianship to go to me.
okay,
And that was fine with me and my husband, because my aunt's 64 this year and I'm 54, so we grew up together. um
okay.
but she lives with me in my
Mhm,
home, and so and that's another reason we're so blessed to have the size house we have, because
mhm.
we are able to bring people in, and trust me,
And
we
be
bring people.
comfortable.
Yes, and still
Yeah.
be comfortable. So yeah, so my aunt's been living with us since my mom passed. And
That's a blessing,
so
actually. That's a
um
blessing.
and you know what's really great? My boys lost my mom, but to have her sister in the house, and
Mhm.
she talks about all of the, them growing up, all
Yeah.
of the stories about my grandparents, things that they wouldn't really know had,
Mhm.
if my aunt wasn't living with us. So,
Exactly.
yeah, she's been with us for a while, and
Mhm.
she often brings up a lot of stories to me about, growing up when things were not as we like to take them for granted
Mhm.
today, and she says the same things to my boys. She tells them, stick together, stay together,
Mhm.
always protect your brother, always look after one another. If you and your brother go somewhere, if seven go,
Mhm.
seven come back.
That's right.
If you don't, nobody is left behind for real. Like,
Mhm.
we don't
Mhm.
allow for that. And so when it came to, again, back to Nolan, I just remember telling my husband, I was like, I just wish I could have been there for him.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been a mom on that trip
Mhm.
to to ask, where's the little black boy at? Because I
Yeah.
feel like we would have known he was not coming back to the port with
Mhm.
everybody else.
Mhm.
He's not getting off anybody's boat. He's
Mhm.
not, hanging around with the kids. Where is he? And
Mhm.
somebody could have looked way earlier than what they looked.
Yeah.
Um, and there are just so many different stories, yeah, anymore
There is.
that just really remind us of the importance of taking care of one another. And
Yeah.
I think that one reason I believe this is a beautiful collab between Mickey and I is just to offer up some sound advice,
Mhm.
and to use each other as touching stones for
Yep.
some of the stuff that goes on in our community. It's not easy, It's not
That's
easy whether
right.
you're a mom of 10 or a mother of one. It's not easy.
That's
And
right.
I think that we're learning, oh my goodness, we are just learning that
Yeah.
society needs all the aunties, our communities need all the aunties and big
Amen.
mamas and Madias that we can still get a hold of.
We
And
don't have enough
uh,
of that anymore. We don't
no,
have enough of the Remember Soul Food, the movie?
yes,
We don't
yes,
have enough of that anymore.
hmm,
These young people, and I don't mean to bash no group of people, okay?
yeah, yeah.
Age-wise, race-wise, or whatever, I'm just gonna tell it how I see it. I figure I'm old enough I can talk my stuff, okay?
Go ahead, girl.
But we were raised, number one, just like you said, you leave together, you come back together. But you also were raised to be mindful of your surroundings.
Yes,
And I think part of the problem is number one, the younger parents are not teaching their younger kids and even their teenagers to be mindful of their surroundings
yes,
because and Tequila, she just said yes, no phones. Okay, I don't know if that's pertaining to what I'm about to talk about, but back then we didn't have nothing to distract us when we
uh-huh,
were out and about. Nowadays, everybody's got their phone in their hand and they're
yeah.
looking
They're
down and
not
they're
paying
not paying
attention.
attention. They're not
Uh-huh,
paying attention. And you got predators out there that are looking for somebody to be distracted so they can do whatever they
yes,
got to do. And
yes.
we got to tell these kids be mindful of your surroundings and be mindful of your friends. Not everybody that smiles in your
Everybody's not
face
your
is your
friend.
friend.
No, sirree. I
And
tell
it
my
don't matter
boys,
what color.
yes. Huh. It doesn't.
It
It
don't.
doesn't. You have to be able to pick apart people's minds. You never know intent, but you can follow your intuition, is what I
Hmm.
tell my sons. Um,
Discernment.
you have to be able to at least get a whiff of trouble.
Hmm.
And we not always gonna be able to keep it from happening, but if we can keep it from happening, we want to give our young people the tools they need to know,
Hmm.
keep your eyes open, keep your
Right.
ears open, have a good time, but not a good time to the point where you just have forgotten all about the people that are behind you or in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the man across the street
That's
that you
right.
might look up and catch with a camera pointed in your direction. Just
Mm-hmm.
look up from your phone, honey. Get long
Absolutely.
enough to say, okay, it's been a minute. I looked
Mm-hmm.
up. Go
Mm-hmm.
another 60 seconds. I looked up. But you cannot walk these streets
Mm-mm.
anymore without your eyes wide open and protecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many different kinds of predators anymore.
Yeah, they
I
are.
mean, things are so different, y'all. We were talking earlier. We said we sound just like our mothers because I
Mm-hmm.
remember our mothers, probably saying the same thing. Take care of your little sister. Times are harder
Mm-hmm.
now than they
Mm-hmm.
used to be. But looking back, and I know Mickey feel the same way. I could go back to those times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because it was a simpler time and
Yeah,
everybody seemed like they cared more about one another and
they did.
you weren't as occupied by um, social media or the news media, or we just lived life and
Yeah,
we enjoyed it and
yeah.
we enjoyed seeing each other every day. And so you did make sure your friends got home. If
Mm-hmm.
we all left out on a week, let's say a Saturday morning to ride bikes, my
Mm-hmm.
mom might say, if it's the girls and the boys, me, my sisters and brothers, we could
Mm-hmm.
be gone for a few hours. And we might call our mom from a friend's house or something, but we
Mm-hmm.
could we could be gone for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and mama knew we'd be home for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And but nowadays it's just things are so different. My grandkids now, I don't even I worry so much, Mickey, that
Yeah.
I sometimes I have to just ask God to turn it off.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
um, my grandson, he is a year younger than my youngest biological. So our youngest biological is 18. Then
Mm-hmm.
we have a grandson that's 17.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honey, him and these girls, and he
Mm.
he's a good looking boy, and of
Whew.
course, a lot of the guys don't like him. And
Child,
so
I know what you mean.
my son goes out and he buys him an expensive car, and I
Mm-hmm.
me and my husband are frowning on that because he don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because we have it don't mean we have to spend it.
Right.
He's still in high school. Give him a little something that he could get back and forth to school and save that car for graduation. He's a
Mm-hmm.
good kid. He deserves it. But I just worry about what it looks like to,
Mm-hmm.
people on the outside looking in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want nobody hurt my baby over no car,
Right. And
you know.
somebody taking advantage of him so they can be around him because he's got that car.
Yes.
Because see,
Yes.
that's what I think what happened with Nolan. To be truthful about it, even though those were elite white boys. Okay, I'm just gonna call them white boys.
Right.
They were elite white boys, and Nolan didn't come from the same income bracket. I'll just put it like
Uh-huh.
that. But Nolan had something that nan one of them white boys had, and that was savvy. He had
Yeah.
swag.
Oh, you could tell it. Yeah.
He had swag.
Yeah.
He was naturally athletic. Everybody loved him. His teachers loved him. His
Yeah.
family loved him. The other students loved him. Everybody had good things to say about him, genuinely. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's one thing money can't buy.
Cannot.
And he
Cannot.
had dreams. He had this young man was about to go to D1 tryouts that following Monday.
Mm.
And I find it very difficult to believe, considering the fact that he had such goals and this was his last hurrah before he goes off to college.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult to believe that he was even consuming what they said.
Alcohol or
Yeah,
drugs. That's what I
okay.
said.
But
Yeah.
something that Nancy Grace came out last night, I thank God she said it. I don't know who told her because somebody's leaking information out too.
Uh-huh.
Just let the record show. Chris Cuomo came out with something talking about, I've got a very reliable source that I'm going to protect, and he got to talking what he found out.
Uh-huh.
Nancy Grace came out yesterday and told Race Batum Tatum
Uh-huh.
that she has a very, now these aren't her exact words, but she said that she's come to find out that there was no COCAINE in his system.
Uh-huh. I knew that.
Okay, which is what they were trying to just put this narrative out there that he was
Yeah.
just some drunk drug addict Negro that, wasn't worth being around them and all this. This young man had dreams and
Yeah.
aspirations, and he was serious about it. So I would not be one bit surprised if his autopsy came out and he didn't have anything in his system. Because when you go into D1 tryouts, they test
Mhm.
you.
Yeah,
You got to
okay.
be clean for that. And
Right.
I don't see him throwing all those aspirations away for a day on Horn Island.
I
I
don't
just don't
either.
see that. I don't see
But
that.
now that you mention these aspirations and that he had something big coming up on the weekend, it kind of makes you wonder if that didn't have
Jealousy,
something to do with it, you know?
jealousy.
I mean, the jealousy is real, and
Yeah.
it's so interesting because a lot of times people try to act like our boys don't have nothing nobody else want, but they got
Thank
everything
you.
everybody want. They
Okay.
have, the athleticism,
Fashion,
they have the fashion sense, they have the suave,
music.
they have the charisma. I think I hear from women all the time about my own sons. And
Hmm.
I'm like, girl, I don't want to hear that. But they just want me to know that they're very,
Hmm.
respectful
Hmm.
and kind. And the little girlfriends talk about how romantic
Hmm.
and again, these are not things money can buy. Um,
Exactly.
our mother taught us to be classy, baby. I never
Hmm.
now I can say my parents were blessed, and my mom, she finished college. My dad had a year, and
Hmm.
so they were really, really, we did really well
Hmm.
when we were younger. And I can remember my mother saying, but there's one thing that money cannot buy you, and that's class. And she
Hmm.
would teach us how to talk and how to behave and how to dress. My mother did not believe in you leaving the house without your clothes pressed, your
Hmm.
hair fixed, your nails have been manicured, even if she stayed up late and did them herself. You
Hmm.
represented her and her family. And
Hmm.
I think that for a lot of us, that still is true. I think we still want our kids to be well kept and to look
Right.
nice, but I think it looks so different anymore.
Yeah.
These kids just don't have to wear clothes, and they don't have to be have much, going on about themselves
Yeah.
upstairs, as
Yeah.
long as they know how to rap a little bit, or
Or
it
twerk.
or twerk.
Twerk
I
the
don't
right
know
way.
why twerking is a talent. That is, whoever put twerking down as a talent needs to go
Um,
and look up talents, child.
mm. Hell, we had to twerk to make them. So I mean, I don't see what the big.
Okay. Why is it such a big deal that they can twerk when
I
we've been
don't know.
twerking all these years just to get them
All
out
these
our bodies?
years, they've been twerking since Adam and Eve. Eve said, "Adam, come on over here.
Okay,
Let me
said
show
twerk
you
ain't
this.
nothing
Let me
new,
show you. Turn
baby.
around. Let me show you
And
something."
Adam said, "You better twerk it." And now all of a
Okay.
sudden, everybody feel like twerking is a new thing.
Yeah, but
But
it's really it. I'm glad you brought up how our parents taught us.
yeah,
Um, my grandparents raised me,
hmm,
so and I'm biracial. So my mother's side of the family, none of them had anything to do with me
okay,
or, my upbringing. I was raised
uh-huh,
by my black grandparents and my black daddy.
yeah,
So everything I knew came from my black side, and that's the only side that I
uh-huh,
care about. Okay.
right,
Because my
right,
blackness is not necessarily the color of my skin, but
Come on, sis.
it's inside of
It's
me.
in you.
That's my
Yes.
character, and that's me. That's just
Yeah.
my whole thing is, what I am.
Yeah.
So, but this is where I had a difficulty growing up in that particular situation, is that my grandparents, my grandmother was born in 1905. My
Okay.
grandfather was born in 1909. So we're talking way back, you
Yeah.
know, during the Great Depression and all that stuff. And, black folks had to look down if they came in contact with a white person, and you
Uh-huh.
had to step aside on the side of the street. If you walking down
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Nixon.
Your mic went out, sis.
I don't know, boss.
Can you hear me? What happened?
Sorry about that. This
Oh, okay.
microphone,
I was like, what?
Jesus. I need a new mic. Can you guys hear me?
Uh-huh.
Can
Can
you
y'all
guys
hear
hear me
her in the
now?
chat? Can you hear me, Mickey? I hear you.
Uh-oh.
Mickey, I
Do
can
I
hear
need to
you.
go out and come back?
Yeah. Yeah, go out and come
Let me
back.
see if I can go out and come back.
Okay. Y'all get in here and say hello to Auntie Mickey. Quit acting like y'all don't know y'all people. Oh, Lisa can hear us both, Auntie Mickey. Y'all better get in here. Get some of this auntie love. I'm helping Champion while I'm waiting on Mickey to come in. Okay, that's the last one, Champion. Champion waits till I get on live to decide he wants to be bothered with me. You made it
Okay.
back?
I'm so sorry.
No,
Something
we can
happened with
hear
my
you.
mic.
We can
Okay.
hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't
Okay.
hear nothing.
Mhm.
I couldn't even see nothing. But sorry about that. I don't even remember where I was. But I remember. My grandparents, since they raised me, um, they felt that I was the family's great white hope.
Okay.
And I didn't want that label. I didn't
Yeah.
want to carry that load. I wanted to be me. I wanted to be exactly who God made me to be. Number one,
Yes.
it took my mother and father to lay down and have me. Why would you ask me to disregard the very side that's raising me and be
Yes.
ashamed of them? They actually told me, don't you tell nobody about your black daddy. Don't you tell
What?
nobody about your black grandparents. You better not let these white folks know you got black kids.
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
so you're asking me to be ashamed of you?
Ashamed.
Of you? You're raising me. And
Hmm.
you want me to walk around this world and be ashamed of you? That means that I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
I'm not that one. And that's
Yeah.
where we would battle on that.
Of course. Yeah.
But it just shows you just how, Satan can take a situation and twist things around so much that it'll make a bad situation worse.
Yeah. And then the confusion in that is, which I kind of get it, because I see where the idea is, you have an opportunity out here to not be treated like black people. You had a choice, is what somebody might say. But I agree with you. I think that um, one thing we have to remember is black women are strong,
Mhm.
headstrong.
Mhm.
And when we make up our minds that we're going to handle something a certain way or handle a person a certain way, very few people can get in there and make us feel any other kind of way about it.
Yeah.
And I say that with regard to, I know that my husband and I, we call our sons the Rainbow Coalition. They all different colors and shades, but
Mhm.
that pulls from our ancestry. It just
Mhm.
is, they different shapes. Some of them we got one that's the 18-year-old is 6'4",
Mm.
215 pounds.
Oh
And
my.
then We got I think the next one after him might be the 35-year-old, might be next in height. But so my biological baby is the tallest. He taller than the daddy and all the brothers.
See
So
there?
you just never know, what your kids are gonna look like. But
That's true.
that's why you pray for them to be healthy and happy. Okay.
Absolutely.
And then you instill all the good stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you can in them, and you send them out into the world knowing that the world is not your friend.
That's right.
You might make friends, but the world is not here for you to be all huggy kissy with. You
Mm-mm.
have to make a life for yourself, and you have to be able to do it, arming yourself not just with what we give you, but with what you give yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is one thing I always commend Black mothers on,
Mm-hmm.
is the ability to teach, especially boys,
Absolutely.
how to get up, get yourself together, get a job, go to school, comb your hair, get dressed, make yourself presentable to the world, because it doesn't matter to me if you make $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year. If you're a bad person, it's all the same. It doesn't mean a thing.
You can
So
have
if
all
you
the integrity you want, and
all of
I
it,
mean all the money you want,
all
and
of
have
the
bad
money,
integrity.
no
It won't mean a
integrity.
thing.
That's right. And you can have all the money, and your character could be shot. So we know money does not buy us not only happiness, but it don't make you a good person.
No, it don't.
So a lot of times people who throw their nickels and dimes around in an attempt to try and make you feel bad really do feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I was brought up the way I was, because my grandparents always reminded us, just like we might have pork chops and sweet potatoes for dinner, tomorrow might be cornbread and buttermilk.
Okay, and still be good.
And still be, listen, it'll still be dinner,
Slapping.
still be good, and we'll still be sitting here at the table together.
Yeah.
Those are the things that stuck with us and that mattered most to us, is those kind of things. And I pray that the young adults can learn that when you put that kind of stuff in your kids and you make them appreciate what you have to offer, not what your money can buy, not the Xboxes because we could buy our kids all of those things. But what kind of men were we raising?
Amen.
Was the legitimate question. I remember my mother asking me one day. I was crying because we had decided to homeschool some of the boys, and I couldn't get any. All the support I got was from white people. It seemed like the Black community did not appreciate a Black woman homeschooling her children. And I was just awestruck by that. I thought, well, you think they would support me for, taking this on, wanting to instill in my children what's not being taught in school, wanting to make sure that they understand that God is everywhere and they don't have to leave him at the kitchen table when they get on the bus. I want my kids to be well-rounded and well-taught. And I was having a hard time finding a group of Black folks that say, oh yeah, come on, sis, we support that. Here's a group of us that's doing the same thing. And so I was feeling down one day, and my mama stopped by to visit. And the boys were at the table doing their work. And my mama said, what's with you? And I said, I'm just feeling kind of sad. I'm trying to find, a couple of Black families to homeschool with. And, they were going to piano and chess around the corner at this predominantly white church. And, so I was just feeling, my mama said, let me tell you something. She said, the only way something becomes a thing is if somebody does it first. She said, if these folks have a problem with you making it your decision because God led you and your husband to teach your children at home, it's more wrong with them than it could ever be wrong with you. And she told me, she said, don't let these boys see you with your head held down when you go to teach them something. The best teacher in the world is you.
That's
And
right.
so from then on, child, you couldn't tell me nothing about my kids.
Hmm. I know that's right. I was
About
like that with my
education.
boys too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are the first teachers. We are the educators that
Hmm.
make the biggest difference, you know.
Yep. Absolutely.
And we have to get it in them, y'all. We
Hmm.
have to make them understand how valuable they are without rap music, without um the culture supporting the
Hmm.
decisions that they make. They're not always going to choose the life path that, Black community says they should
Hmm.
choose. None of my boys are athletes. I mean,
Hmm.
they could be, but that's not what they chose to do with their life.
Right.
They wanted to do other things. They
Hmm.
do. One
And that's
produces
fine.
music. Yeah, one does um oh, I can't even think of the title, but he works really deep into computers and cybersecurity and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So we've got them across the board, but
Yeah.
what they are is they're proud. They
Hmm.
are happy. They're healthy, thank God, thank God.
Ooh, that's
They
a blessing
love
right
one
there.
another. Yeah, they love their families.
Mhm.
And that right there is when you putting that good stuff in,
All
is
right.
when you teach them to love themselves, to love
Hmm.
God,
Hmm.
to, that's the stuff that keeps, especially like I say, men. I speak on men the most because I have so many in my
I
life,
hear you.
you
Me
know.
too. Me too.
And so that's what I always fall back on. But even knowing my sisters all have daughters, and
Hmm.
I've helped them to raise their daughters, and we still teach them to be self-respectful, you got to have a high self-esteem without the world thinking you beautiful, you
Yeah.
know, because they're
Yeah.
not always going to think that.
Well,
So,
and I'm sure you can understand as a parent, a mother of boys, that, so much emphasis has been placed on, making sure that these girls are straight with
yes,
regard to how they feel about themselves, that sometimes that same amount of pouring into doesn't always happen with boys. And I thank God that that's all I had was boys. I just had two boys, but I got three grandsons
yeah,
and I've got nephews all over the
yeah,
place.
boys
And
everywhere.
I thank God that he gave me those boys, because number one, me and that girl would have been fighting over my
Yeah,
makeup
I couldn't
and
have
my
did it, Nikki.
clothes,
I
and I
couldn't have
would have had
did
to
it.
choke her. I would have
I
had to
couldn't have
choke
did it. I had my listen. I tried to do a weekend
her.
with
Hmm.
my nieces, because I love girly stuff. So I
Hmm.
have all of these tea what's it called, like tea, where you would have tea sets. I
Oh, tea
have
sets, tea
Yeah,
parties.
I have lots of those.
Uh-huh.
And my husband laughed and he said, I don't know why you keep buying these. Who is going to sit down with you and have tea? And so I said, well, I'm going to have 1 month, 1 week in out of every month where I get
Mhm.
all my nieces together and
Mhm.
we have tea parties. And so I started that when they were young. And it was so much fun until they started to get to be teenagers and they
Mhm.
wanted to get in my closet and they
Oh
wanted
boy.
to get in the makeup, and then they wanted to spend the night, which meant they had to
Mm.
sleep over. Girl, I
Mhm.
wasn't ready for the sleepovers. Oh,
Mm.
child.
Mm-mm. No, no, no. It's time for you to stay home at that point. Stay
You
home with
you
your
got to
mama.
go home, girl, because you can't stay here. I don't have what it takes for the girls. I don't have the temperament for girls. Um, the boys wrestling and tussling, that's me. Like I
Uh-huh.
can get on the ground and fight with my boys and wrestle. And we
Uh.
have my husband to come and tell me and my boys to be quiet because he trying to watch Walker Texas Ranger, or
Oh.
in the heat of the night. Look, he my husband love his old time TV, child.
Oh my
He
goodness.
loves old TV. So if he
Mhm.
get in the heat of the night or Walker Texas Ranger on, and
Mm.
me and them boys get to tussling, he's yelling and screaming, "Would you and them boys shut it up?" And I'm like, "Leave us alone. We having a good time."
Oh my God. Well, see, that's how I was with my boys too. When we would go, like, we rarely went to I think we went on vacation one time as a family,
Uh-huh.
and they were like the beginning of their teenage years, and we took the boys to Los Angeles for a week, and we went to Universal Studios and
Yes.
somewhere else. Six Flags.
Uh-huh.
And I remember I got my oldest son. He's scary like his daddy. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's scary like his daddy. His daddy won't get on no rides. He won't even get on the Ferris wheel or the merry-go-round. He
Yeah,
just ain't having it. He says somebody got to tell the story if
I
something
know
go
that's right.
wrong.
Tell him
So
that's me now. I let him
he
get on
said somebody
everything.
got to
I
tell the
got to
story.
tell the story.
But my youngest was my ride or die. So
Mm.
I love roller coasters. I
Yeah.
love them
Oh,
crazy,
really?
scary ride. Oh, I love them. I love them to death. But it was so funny looking at the two contrasts of my two sons, even though
Yeah.
they were raised in the same house.
Same house.
They were completely two separate type of personalities. My oldest son, he was like, nope, I'm good. As a matter of fact, I tricked him to get on the Batman roller coaster with me. And
Uh-huh.
he was so upset with me.
I bet he was.
He was so upset with me. But my youngest, oh, he would get on all them rides with me. I really miss him for that. But
Oh,
yeah, it's amazing how you can bear children and they're coming out of the same receptacle,
and so
but they
different.
come out so different, you
Oh my,
know.
Mickey, let me tell you, out of all my boys, I have, let me say, okay, so we got the baby 6. So we're going to
Mhm.
take him out of there. So out of the 6 oldest boys, I would say 3 of them are just like me in personality. We laugh at everything. Everything's a joke. I'm sorry. I don't care how serious you make it. We
Mhm.
just bust out laughing.
Mhm.
And that's because my mom took care of them when I worked nights.
Mhm.
So while I was doing my daytime, when I was doing my paralegal, I picked up nights at the IRS because me and my husband were trying to, get our money together to get us a bigger house and stuff. And so my mom and I were a lot alike. So my mom taught them to laugh at all her silly jokes and how to every comment she would make would be out of a movie. Like her
Mhm.
favorite movie was Blazing Saddles. Everything you said to my mama,
Oh my
she
God.
brought out a line from Blazing Saddles, and you
Gene
would be like,
Wilder.
where did that come from? So I have those 3. Then it's
Mhm.
2 that are a lot like my husband in that they can be serious, but they don't like to be.
Mhm.
They really don't like. None of us prefer to be serious. But then I
Mhm.
got one older boy, girl. When I tell you, it take everything we got to get this boy to laugh.
Mm.
This the one with all the kids, though. He always say, "Mama, it's the dad in me. I take
Oh.
life seriously. It's the dad." And I'm like, "Boy, stop playing." But I get it. He has 2 daughters,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and he wants to come across as, as a hardline father. So
Yeah.
I let him do it sometimes, but I like to
Yeah.
tickle him and get him a lot of times too.
I hear you. I hear
Oh
you.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's people coming in. Hey Pamela,
Hello, everybody
hey
that's come
Taquita,
in. I need
Monique.
to turn my glasses up because I can't have see, but
You
I'll
said
turn them up
turn
later.
your glasses
It's the
up.
term I use. I can't have see, and these are brand new.
That's like in the car when I used to drive. I don't drive anymore. But when I
Mm.
used to drive, I used to tell my husband when I would try to back out the driveway, I would say, "Would you
Turn the
be
radio
quiet?
down.
Turn the radio down and be
Mhm.
quiet so I can back out." And he would say, "What does
But you
that
know
have?"
what? That's a thing. That's a thing.
It
I've done that
is
before.
true.
That's a
It
thing.
is. You cannot do stuff if it's too loud. Listen, you
Can't
can't back
concentrate.
out. It's not possible. I used to tell the kids, "Be quiet. Sit
Hmm
on each other till I get out of this parking space."
Can't concentrate. Can't turn it. Be quiet. Don't say nothing.
Don't
Turn that
say
music off.
nothing.
Don't talk to me. I gotta back up.
I gotta pay attention. Look,
Mhm,
I gotta pay attention to what's going on behind me. Don't make
mhm.
no sudden moves. So how
Yeah.
did you do with your boys and the girlfriend
Oh my
situation?
goodness. Okay, so both boys they came out of the same womb, but they were two different people. I mean,
Right.
two different personalities. My youngest was very loyal. He wasn't a player. You know,
Uh-huh.
he had one girlfriend at a time.
Yeah.
That oldest one, Lord have mercy.
Yes, Lord. Ain't them the ones, girl?
Mama.
Now my oldest is 6'3". He's 6'3". Very, very well, they were both very handsome. And boy, I tell you, I had to pretend like I didn't know half of these girls that were coming
Yeah.
by my house.
Yeah.
And I'd see one coming and another one just left, and I'd have to pretend like, oh, hey, baby, he's been waiting
I
on you.
know. Don't you hate that?
I couldn't stand it. But now he's married. He's happily married. I mean, he's married the girl of his life.
Uh-huh.
And they've been
Yeah.
married for, I think, four or five, I think 4 years now.
Oh, that's
And they're very
beautiful.
happy. He's got two kids prior to this marriage. This was his first marriage. But
Uh-huh.
he's got a daughter who just turned 18 and graduated from high school. And he's got a son who is 12. That's my
Okay.
baby. That's my baby
Yeah.
grandson. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My youngest son, on the other hand, the loyal one,
Mhm.
he had two boys.
Okay.
Um, his oldest son is about to turn 20 next month.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, and then the younger of those two is also 12.
Oh,
And
so you got
that's
two 12.
I got two 12-year-olds, and they're just like, it's amazing because my youngest son is
Uh-huh.
just like his uncle,
Oh,
and
and the
vice
older
versa.
vice versa.
It's like
Yes.
watching them all over again, except I'm looking at the personality occupying a different body,
Yeah.
but the same type of
That's
personality.
beautiful though.
And the two brothers, I mean, the two cousins look like their dads, you
Yeah.
know.
Now, you know what? My boys, they started having kids, and it was so weird because one of our boys he looks like Prince. That's what everybody call him, Baby Prince.
Hmm.
And he's fair skinned. Girl, he had hair coming down the middle of his back when he came
Mm.
out of my womb. I asked my mama, I said, Mama, please go make sure that's a boy. And she came back, she said, it's a boy, honey. She said, but it's all
Believe that.
hair. It is all hair. And
Wow.
I have my brothers are all fair skinned.
Hmm.
I'm the darkest child my mama got, strangely enough.
Mm.
I don't know why. I guess because I am more like her and she was dark skinned, but our dad
Hmm.
was fair skinned. And
Hmm.
so with my son, the one they say looked like Prince, he
Hmm.
my son, that I have a son that lives in Thailand. He's home
Oh.
right now. He's home right now. But
Uh-huh.
his daughter came out looking just like this fair-skinned Prince son. And
Mm.
when I tell you, it was the funniest thing because they're 7 years apart, the boys.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when my son called me and his dad up to the hospital, and the boys were, deciding if they were going to go see the baby or whatever. So I
Mhm.
went ahead and left, and I walked into the room, and the girl turned over with the baby, and I said, "Well, wait a minute now,
Put that there, Hoppo.
who's which brother is this? Because this baby looking awfully fair
Who
about the
this
baby."
who this baby?
And to this day, girl, she looks just like that brother, but
Mm,
she looks just like me. I had to show you a picture. She's like a fair
mm.
skinned me, which makes her a fair skinned
Wow.
my mama. So, but yeah, it's so funny when I hear you talk about the boys and how things
Mhm,
can be crossed up like that. Because I have
mhm,
my grandson acts just like one of my sons. He don't act like his dad. He acts like one of his uncles too. Uh,
mm,
but
mhm,
my mom, used to always tell a couple of my boys, they reminded her so much of her brother, and he passed away when we were younger. Too.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
it's wonderful to see that the likeness in your
Yeah,
kids and your grandkids, and
yeah.
watch that, watch them grow, and just hope
Mhm,
that beautiful things will happen. And I'm excited. My
mhm,
son is home from Thailand. His girlfriend is Italian, and
mm,
they met. He went when he first left the States. It's been about, it was right after my mom passed. He had a horrible, horrible, horrible time losing
mm,
my mom.
mhm.
And so he said, "Mom, I need to do missionary work. I have to go." And
Wow.
at the time, I didn't want anybody to go. I had just lost my mom, and
Yeah.
my oldest brother was dying of colon cancer, and
Oh
so I
my
was trying to
goodness.
hold all my boys as close to the vest as possible. But this one, my baby, he said, "Mama, I gotta go." He said, "This is too
Mhm,
much for me." And so he went to um the first place he went was Peru. And he was
mhm,
in Peru for 6 months. He came home. He said,
mhm,
"I absolutely love it. I'm working in the village. I'm meeting people from different places." The depression he was in had subsided.
mhm,
He missed my brother's service, which was hard on him because they were close. So
mm,
he was home for a while, but then he said, "Well, the next group is going to Thailand." And
mhm,
me and his dad were like, "Thailand? We thought this was, I guess we thought it was something he had to get out of his system, but
mm.
we soon recognized this was a calling
This was his
uh,
calling,
way
yeah.
beyond us." Yes. And so he went to Thailand twice. He came home for
Mhm,
3 months, went back out for 6 months, and he came
mhm,
home with a girlfriend. And
mm,
she is Italian. And she was home with him this last time, not this time, but last year they came home for maybe a couple of months.
mhm,
And this time he came home. When he comes home, what he does is he works. He has a career and not a job. So he's able to come home, work, make enough money to carry them for a year and a half,
hello.
2 years, and then he
Mhm,
goes back out, which I love. Me and
mhm.
my husband always say, if we'd have known that was a thing when we was dating each,
Okay.
but yeah, but I love that he's teaching that to his brothers. But
Yeah.
so she just came. He just went to Italy to get her and bring her back to the States so
Mhm.
that he could propose.
I was
Um,
about to say that that's next.
yes,
That's next.
yes,
If he went and brought her back here, yeah, that's next.
yes. And so we are so excited. They were here for dinner the other day, and she said, "Well, my mom and dad, they really loved Christian when he was there, and they made all these." They taught him how to cook all these Italian dishes, and they fell in love with him. And I talked to the
Mhm,
mom. I didn't talk to the dad. He's not too good with English, but
mhm,
me and the mom talked, and she
mhm.
just went on and on about how wonderful he was. And I told her, I said, "You making me blush. Stop it. You making me blush." And she said, "No." She said he is such a gentleman, and we are so excited for, their union. And so now we're trying to decide, are we really going to go to Italy for this wedding, or are
Mhm,
we going to do in the States? The only
mhm,
thing that's making me think Italy is because her family has never really been to the States.
mm.
And so I don't know if that's something that they're willing to do, so she can
Mhm.
have her mom and her sisters and stuff.
Yeah,
Because as
yeah.
far as we're concerned, me and my husband, and I know at least two of my sisters and a couple of the boys, we will for sure travel to Italy. Oh my God,
Mhm.
really? What?
Okay.
I am already there.
Give me a
So
reason.
yes,
Give
yes.
me a
That's what I told my
reason.
son. I said, "So you just had to give me a reason to go to Italy."
Mm.
So yeah, so I'm excited for their, and they want to continue doing missionary work for a couple of more years, and then they want to settle down and have kids. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for them. But again, they're all different. They're all different. I have one son. Mama, I'm never leaving you. I'm never leaving your side. I got to take care of you. That's what my grandma will want. This is what it is. This is how it's going to be. And that's, I believe that because that's just who he is.
Yeah.
I'm blessed in so many ways with my boys because they really do take care of me. And their dad, when he first started working out of our state, he was gone so much traveling. And they were young. And my mom would always tell me, God gave you those boys for a reason. It wasn't until they were 14, 15, 16, 20 that I realized, oh, okay, yeah, I see, Lord, to carry in groceries and to protect the house and to, make sure nobody bothers me and get me back and forth to doctor's appointments and to just love on me constantly. It's something about just having that love of them. It keeps me focused on
Centered.
everything. Yes. And it reminds me that I am blessed beyond measure and that there's nothing I can do that would ever change their minds about me. And there's nothing that I could do that or anybody else could do, for that matter.
There you go.
And that's what I love about Black families. That's why I do this and what I do in my community is because I believe in our families. I believe in our marriages. I believe and what God has for us. And I put my foot down on that thing. Yeah.
I know that's right. Well, but I mean, and I'll be the first to say that Black people are the original people on this earth.
Yes.
So it is up to Black people to carry the mantle, so to speak.
I agree, sis.
Set
Hey,
the
Tracy.
standard.
Welcome in, you
And
all. Welcome in, Empress.
so, we go through life so many times, we always, we have our fun, we have our ratchetivity and stuff like that, even here on YouTube. And that was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about being here on YouTube as seasoned women.
Yes.
Because sometimes we get a tendency of getting dragged because we're older.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, drag me, because you drag my bills with you. Why you dragging me? Come get these bills too.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just something about how we have a tendency to, I don't know. It's, I haven't seen other races really do this as much. But because we're so resilient, Black people are so resilient and so loving and nurturing and forgiving, we have a tendency to sometimes let it go with regard to looking at each other side-eyed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But I really think that we need to focus more on uplifting. And I know this sounds really corny. It sounds
but
really
it's true.
corny.
Go ahead.
But it's very true. If everybody else can do it, why can't we? We are the standard. We're supposed to be the standard.
Amen, sis.
And
I agree. I agree with you. And it's so funny that you and I are becoming friends this time around for me, because I've had many times around, and I never would allow myself to be completely me, because I don't think I wanted to be the old auntie on the block. I think there was a part of me that kind of wanted to be in the mess a little bit. Now that don't mean I'm not gonna be messy.
Oh,
that just
gonna be
means
messy. I ain't gonna lie.
that just means that I think before I was more concerned with what it looked like than what it felt like. Because I could find myself enthralled with these conversations with some of the ladies I had created relationships with. And these were the healthier places I wanted to be. But when, I knew I could get a good read, and if somebody poked the bear, they were going to get that good read, And so I think this time around, I do want to be a little bit more careful. Yes, I want to make sure that these girls, or even the young men, understand that I am here as not just as somebody to work with them, but somebody that can support them. I want them to know that, we can talk about it, we can pray about it. If it can be hashed out, we can try that. But at the end of the day, we don't have to disrespect each other. We don't have to
Absolutely.
talk over and under each other. And if I
Absolutely.
can't control anything else, I can control my little corner of YouTube. And
Hello.
that means I won't allow disrespect in my chat. I won't
Mhm.
allow people to be called names and all of the
Mhm.
things that have gone on in the past. Because,
Mhm.
like you said, we set the standard.
Mhm.
And if you show better, they're going to do better because they
Yeah.
want to be around that, right? I remember people telling me all the time, uh, Tracy said, content with class and a story to tell. Thank
That's
you,
it.
sweetie.
That's
Thank you.
it.
Thank you very much. But I remember people always saying to me, Evangelist Val, you bring the word and you inspire us, but then you get in the
Mhm.
mess. And I used to want to tell them, y'all, I can't help it. It's in me. I'm messy. But
Human.
I understand that they wanted me to just be this one person over here that they can
Mhm.
constantly come and get the word from and constantly be uplifted by. But I needed for them to see that even, your minister can
Mhm.
be shady and can
Okay.
be messy and can act up. But what I'm not allowing anymore is for anybody to feel like they victimized in my chat and in my show.
Mhm.
I
Right.
won't take part in that. Now I can't control how nobody treats you anywhere else, but
Right.
over here we're gonna have a definite rule of engagement to keep my
Mhm.
people safe
Mhm.
and the content that we hold dear, because I do feel us turning towards a different kind of content on in
Mhm.
this sector.
Yeah.
I think the people who are saying, nah, everything's the same, ain't nothing different, I don't think they're paying close enough attention. I
Maybe
think that
those are the people that don't want it to change.
there you go.
You think? I don't
That's it.
know.
That's it. That's it.
Because I mean, you can't go through life just being stagnant. That's like that's like a 65-year-old woman going to Neiman Marcus and buying a bikini for a
Right.
25-year-old woman and putting it on thinking you're going to get the same result as that 25-year-old woman. It's not
Right.
going to happen. As a matter of fact,
Right.
people are going to laugh at you. I know I will.
Right.
I will laugh at you,
Okay, girl,
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
have a
going to do it
good
behind your
laugh.
back.
I'm gonna have a good laugh. Taquilla said, I don't think it matters who drags either, Auntie. I've heard both of them do a good old nasty read. Listen,
Sometimes you got to get the read out the
you gotta
system.
do it.
You
You
just got
gotta
to get it
do
out the
it.
system. It's
You
almost
might
like poison.
listen, we have to get that out of us so that
Yeah,
we can be better for you all. Okay?
absolutely. And I'm not professing to be perfect. Look, these
Me
people are like, well,
either.
you're a pastor's wife, and look, I was a pastor's wife later.
Yes. Yes.
I
And
was
I
his
tell people that
woman
too.
first.
Yeah. And my husband, I love that my husband will tell people tell my husband, your wife, one minute she ministering on Facebook and cussing somebody out on YouTube. And he said, well, you
It's
catch her in
called
the middle.
human.
I don't know what to tell you.
Catch
Call
me
her
in
at
the
home on the
middle.
phone.
Oh my God.
Send her a text. I don't know what you want her to do. She's being
Hey,
who she is.
hey, it is
Oh,
what it is.
yes.
I mean, people are human. And,
Yes, we
that's
are.
why we have prayer.
Yes, it
Lord, please
is.
forgive me for, dragging Maggie or whatever. No,
Girl.
you ain't got to forgive me. I was glad to do it. But, because you don't know I
And I
can't
might
stand that
do it
hoe.
again tomorrow.
Probably. That's one person I just can't stand. But, she knows it. This ain't no secret.
As long as she know a child,
She
that's all that
knows
matters.
it.
As
She
long as
knows
she
it.
know you can't stand it and I don't want to, then we good. We ain't got to worry about her coming
She
over
can't
here.
stand me either. So hey, the feeling is mutual. Go cluck on somewhere, or take that Febreze and do what you want with it.
Not the
But
Febreze, child.
girl, a bowl of Febreze,
How
a
do you have a
bowl of
bowl of
Febreze.
Febreze?
I don't know. She got a bowl of Febreze on the table. Last time I haven't been over there in a minute,
Why
but
would you have a bowl of Febreze?
I don't know. Don't get me to lying. I don't know.
Don't come for me if I didn't send for you. These girls in this chat are just cracking up. Hey, Miss Truty. Oh, yes. Y'all welcome in. This is our first
Yes, this is
video
so
for the
wonderful.
aunties, okay?
Yep,
And
the
so,
aunties in the house, the Black
yes,
Tea
y'all be
Sector
sure the
aunties.
Black Tea Sector auntie, the official, like official King
Okay,
Payne say,
official
the
King
official
Payne.
black aunt. Look, the Black Tea
Tea
Sector
Sector
aunties are on
aunties.
board, okay?
Yes, 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 and hey, it's an
Yeah.
honor to be up here with you, though. It really is, and it's really.
Oh, yes.
I thought, and it is funny that the way that this thought came across my mind. When I can't remember if I saw you in Danny's chat or maybe up on the platform. I don't remember, but I was like, I saw somebody call you Auntie Val,
Uh-huh.
and I said, the two aunties. That's the first thing that came to
You
my
was like, that's
mind.
it. That's it.
The two aunties. And I had
Yes.
never met you before
Look at
and
God.
never talked to you before.
Look
It
at God.
never occurred to me before, but I'm in a place right now that, yeah, I'm kind of over here sometimes and over here sometimes.
Me
I
too.
I go to different spaces and I like to sit and observe and participate in the chats and stuff like that. And then, like you said, I have my own little corner in YouTube
Uh-huh.
where I do my little content. And I just enjoy what I do here. I don't do it,
Yes.
just because I'm monetized. This money ain't nothing. Okay. Trust and
Okay.
believe. Don't let nobody fool you. YouTube is not paying all that doggone much. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta work
Tell
every
the
day.
truth, sis.
I'm
Tell
gonna
the
I'm
truth.
gonna tell you, I gotta work every day.
So
If
you
I
ain't
had to
you not
rely on
YouTube
YouTube,
rich.
mm-mm,
Not at all.
I'd be
Not at
lucky if
all.
I cross that $100 mark
Okay.
on
And
that
we
month at
know,
the end of that
look,
month.
the $100 is not gonna spend very well for
Not
us.
at
We already
all. Not at all. But
not
I
at all.
enjoy what I do,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
enjoy mingling with the people that I've met here on YouTube. And when I look back on when I started, like almost 2 years ago, it was 2024. And the
Okay.
first time I started, I think it was February. My first video I ever did, I just started talking into my camera. I
Yeah.
don't remember
That's the
what I was
same thing
talking
I
about.
did.
I
My
think it
first
was,
video, I started talking into my phone, and I
yeah,
remember my son was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I
yeah.
started a YouTube channel." He was like, "Oh my god."
And you know what? I can remember it was right after Cat Williams did that interview with Shannon
With
Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
Right after that, that's what I
Yes.
I think I got to talking about that. But it's been a journey. It's
Yes.
it's
Yes.
it's really been a journey, and I appreciate it because it makes me step back. I've met so many different people that are going through so many different things, and it makes
Yes.
me more grounded in where I stand,
It does, and it
even
gives
in
us the
relationships.
opportunity, and it gives us the opportunity to even now, like sitting here talking to you, you feel like you met all the people you're gonna meet in your life. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
But you haven't.
And you
We still
haven't.
have people to meet.
Yes, yes. So
Tequila
you
has a
still
question. Tequila had a question.
I would love where is it? This one? I would
Right
love the
below C.
aunties.
Tracy Teach. Right
Okay,
below that.
let's see. I
Right.
would love the aunties to give relationship advice because I have questions. Girl, bring the
Bring
questions,
on
child.
the question. That's why we here.
Okay, bring the questions because we
We
got
here to help. We here to help.
them.
You
We
can
want
take
to
it or
be of
leave it.
service to y'all.
You
Okay,
ain't got to do it. You can, but hey, if you ask and we give it, it's totally up to you
that's
to
for
take the
sure.
advice or
Yes,
not. Nobody's
yes.
forcing nothing. But
Hey, Danny Lynn, since you here, sweetie, can you get Auntie Mickey's channel and put her link in my chat, please,
oh, thank you, love.
so
Thank you. I
everybody can
appreciate
go
it.
and subscribe to Auntie Mickey.
And we got to get this sister's watch hours up.
Yes,
So we're
y'all.
gonna do this a lot more often.
Yes,
We got to
yes.
get you. get
Hey
those
T.
watch hours up and get you monetized so you can be 100%. Let's do this. You
Okay,
know,
so I can be YouTube legit.
YouTube legit, too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. Absolutely.
Yeah. So our hope is to be able to do a show at least once a week. If something good comes out and Auntie Mickey want to talk about it, we can talk about it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm always available. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
we want to at least start off at once a week,
Yeah.
to begin. Okay, she
Now,
said, "Here's my question." Go
okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
Okay.
I was gonna ask you to read it.
It says, I've been married for 14 years. I lost my mother-in-law 3 weeks ago. To see my husband's hurting and not being able to help is hurting me. How do I support my spouse? I will take this
Okay.
because, I'll take this first.
Okay.
My husband, his mom was diagnosed with pancreatitis, pancreatic cancer.
Ooh, that's
Um,
what my sister passed from
yeah,
too.
she was diagnosed 2.5 years ago.
Mm.
Um, she was not able to get the surgery because everything was connected in one vein and they could not
Yeah.
remove the tumor. So she started her chemo and her radiation, and we were all hands on board
Uh-huh.
taking care of her. There was one night that her and now this woman's been in my life for almost 40 years. I've seen her married and buried 2 husbands.
Mm.
And she nursed one through cancer and one through dementia. And she's a wonderful woman. And so we would have prayer time. And her and I were praying one day, and she was telling me how she needed for me to take care of her son and how hard this would be. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my husband comes from a huge family, 5 boys, 3 girls,
Mm-hmm.
and they had already lost 3 brothers.
Mm.
One of which to an self-harm, one of which to illness, and one of which to natural disaster.
Mm.
So she was really concerned with how my husband would deal with losing her. And for some reason, God just would not let me go there with her.
Uh-huh.
Instead, I was pushed to pray for her healing and the victory in that healing. Um, she got really, really sick there and got really, really close. And so I did start talking to my husband. I started to make sure that he understood I was there for whatever he needed, that I would support whatever decisions he needed to make. And God showed up, and she not only had the surgery, but she is in remission. I
What?
83 years old, sis.
Oh my God.
83 years old. But I believe that God wanted us to be able in that time, because my husband was very close to my mom. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like when my mom passed, I carried him through.
Mm-hmm.
He was not able to be there for my sons because he hurt so bad for
Yeah.
himself. And
Yeah.
so I carried him through my mom being, passing. And
Mm-hmm.
I recognized in him that that was real, real hurt and real loss that he was dealing with. And even in that situation, all I could do was remind him that whatever there was that he needed, I was going to be that. If he
Mm-hmm.
was going to need a lifeline to God, if he
Mm-hmm.
felt like there were things he needed to talk about that he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't talk about because my husband's not as spiritual as I am. So he's
Mm-hmm.
always worried that maybe God's not taking him seriously or whatever the case may be. And I think that's why his mom worries about him. But
Mm-hmm.
to answer the question, sis, I would say be as much of his wife as you have always been in this 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can do that you probably haven't done is shown him all the love and concern you are showing in this question.
Mm-hmm.
You have some doubts and you have some fears that maybe you're not doing your best, but I am probably 100% sure that you are doing your best.
The fact
Um,
that you're asking the question leads
yes,
me to believe you
thank
already doing your best.
yes, yes, because she wants to know how she could be doing more
Hmm.
and how she could be being a support. Go ahead, Mickey.
But now she also said to see my husband hurting and not
Mm,
being able to help is hurting me.
hurting
You
her.
have to take
Yeah.
care of you too. You have to
Yes.
grieve as well. And men do not grieve the same as women.
No, they don't.
Men, I don't know, again, I can't tell you the particulars, but what I will say is that men grieve differently. We're
Yes.
more emotional, men hold it in. And the same way you are in your regular relationship, don't change.
Mm-hmm.
Don't change. Support him, but support yourself first. Because if you ain't well, you can't be
Yeah,
well for him.
that's right.
You
That's
see what I'm
right.
saying? If you're not 100%, you can't be 100% for him. So you got to take care of you first. It's just
Yes.
like a parent. If the parent ain't 100%, they can't
The
do
kids
100% for
are.
their kids.
That's right.
So take care of you first and pray.
Yeah,
Honestly, pray.
always pray, sis. Please
Always
stay,
pray.
stay in prayer. Stay in prayer because you know God is going to always. First of all, we know that the union of marriage is what God intended.
Hmm.
And so God is caring for both of you all right now. But you reach out and let God know, Lord, I need a little more strength today.
Yeah.
I'm hurting as bad as he's hurting, or I don't have the words, or, whatever. God already knows, but just verbalize. And sometimes I found myself having to go get my husband and get his hand and just praying right there as he sat at the bed sometimes.
Hmm.
Just not, and I would tell him, you don't have to say anything, babe, because
Hmm.
it's not required. God does not require that my husband say anything when we are praying on each other on the behalf of our marriage.
Hmm.
I'm crying out to God on behalf of both of us.
Hmm.
And I want God to bring the comfort that comes, because it's not immediate comfort. We know that. We know
Right.
that once all the loved ones go away and the well wishers have to go back to their lives, it's just us. And
Yeah.
so that's when you lean in on your God and
Hmm.
you ask Him for that supernatural comfort and peace
Hmm.
that only He can provide.
And you know what? Sometimes all it takes is just a hug.
Yeah. Oh,
Sometimes
mm,
that's all that's necessary. You don't have to say words.
yes.
Sometimes just the act of hugging or taking his hand and just sitting next to him and hold his hand. He could
Yes.
be watching TV, just sit there and hold his hand because
Yes.
y'all are going through this together. This ain't
Together.
this ain't just him.
That's
This ain't
right.
just him.
That's
It's
right.
both of you. You guys are one.
Yeah. Anything that affects the anything that affects you all affects both of you all. So
Absolutely.
never feel like it's too much on either end. It's the equal amount. That's why I
Yeah.
never understood people being the 50-50. I'm gonna need you to be 100
A
100 with me.
100. Keep it 100, please.
I'm gonna
And
need you to be 100 100, because 50-50 is not, that's not
mm-mm,
God
it's not
ordained.
enough. It's not.
Uh-uh.
We can't pay
No,
50-50 on our bills. We
no,
can't pay 50% of our mortgage.
no. We got to
It
put
takes a
in.
hundred.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. She
But
said,
yeah,
thank
just
you, aunties. We both got baptized together.
see,
Oh,
that's
honey.
beautiful. That's now that
Yes.
right there. Oh
Yes.
Lord, that you just
August the 2nd.
well, you put a cherry on top of the cake right there.
Girl. Yes, indeed. Well, first of all, we're going to be praying for y'all.
Absolutely.
Um, because we know the power of prayer, and we definitely know the power of prayer when it comes to marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
we will be lifting your marriage up in prayer, sis, and we'll be lifting
Mm-hmm.
you up in prayer. Um, because we know what it takes to be a strong wife. And
Mm-hmm.
I again, I commend the question, because I
Absolutely.
think sometimes we are afraid to
To
ask
reach out.
questions,
Yeah.
and to say this is something we're dealing with. So yes, God bless.
And you know
God
what else? Just to add to that, as Black women, we're expected to be so strong, and we are. But
yeah,
sometimes we got to lean on other Black women
that's
to
right.
sustain that strength,
That's
because
right.
the man can only do so much for
Yeah.
the Black woman. The Black woman is the strength in terms of the inner strength. The
Yeah.
man is the physical strength, and yes, he's the breadwinner and all that stuff. That's fine and dandy, but
Yeah.
that man needs your strength within
That's
you.
right.
He
Yeah.
needs your strength within you, and you'd be surprised what a small thing like holding his hand, or just
Yes. Just
sitting next
holding
to
his
him, and
hand.
or hugging him, or lay your head in his lap.
Yeah. Ooh, yes, indeed, honey.
Lay
Yes.
your head in his lap, because you're grieving too.
Yeah.
And sometimes they need to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. For
So
sure. Hey,
that's
here.
a
Good to see
blessing.
you.
That's a
Yes.
blessing.
Yes. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Somebody
think
else had a
that
question. Somebody else
uh
had a question It's T, I think. Was it It's T?
I think it was her. Wait a minute, let me get
Way
back up.
up.
It's T said, oh, she was saying that, well, she said she had a question. T, did you ask your question? Up here, she's just,
She said she had a question too,
yeah.
but I
She said,
didn't
I
see
have
the
a question,
question.
but she didn't put it down yet.
Okay.
Thank you here. See, here for the T. She said, I'm proud of you, Val. Keep it up. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. I'm
She
trying to
gonna be all right.
I'm
She's all
trying to
right.
be in here. I'm trying to stick to my what I'm gonna do for God and for y'all.
Hmm.
Okay.
All
And
you can do
God
is just be you, honey.
and that's all I can
You
but
can't
I
put
think
on no performance for nobody else. Can't ain't nobody else got a heaven or hell to put
to
you
put
in.
me in and out of. Yes,
Hmm.
yes. I love it. And just like I said, me and you is just proof that God, I always pray, Lord, put the right people in my path.
Hmm.
Lord, cover me as I
Hmm.
go about to do your will.
Yeah.
And when things like this happen, I just know that God, He knows what I need.
Hmm.
And He knows, He knows. And I thank God. I thank God for just being always on time for me. And,
Absolutely.
that don't have to make sense to nobody but me. But
Thank you.
God knows exactly what that means. I
Point
thank
blank
Him.
period.
I
Point
thank
blank
Him.
period. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And this,
Yeah.
I don't even want to my baby keep coming in. He want to get on the computer. So I told him I would let him have the computer at 7, but I really don't want to
Oh.
because I'm having such a good time talking to you. So I don't really want, and I feel like more people are watching us and they probably want to talk. And I want to
Hmm.
give them time. So we're going to give it a few more minutes.
Okay.
Um, And if y'all got questions or if y'all like seeing the aunties together on the replay, if y'all enjoy the aunties together, let us know, y'all. Give us things y'all would like to talk about. Um, Whatever's going on, I know some things can be a little more personal.
Hmm.
But if it's something y'all don't mind talking about in front of everybody, we can
Hmm.
do QVC gossip sometimes and yes,
Yeah, that's fun. That
QVC
looked fun
gossip.
too.
Yes, we love Auntie Mickey love clothes and shoes just like the rest of us, child.
Well, I'll have to drag my husband in here for that one, because my goodness, that man
Yes, you got
is
to get
a
him in here because you
suit
be
and
on him
shoe
about his
hoarder. Lord have mercy. He old school. Remember them preachers that had the Stacy Adams and the suits to
yes.
match? That's him.
Yeah,
That's
girl, I
him.
love. I tell Kai I gotta buy him a new pair of Stacey Adams every week because he be over there in his chat running around. I had to buy him new shoes because Kai is my associate minister over here at my church.
Uh-oh. It's T said, what is your advice to someone who feels like they're not hearing God?
You take that one first.
What is your advice to someone who feels like they're not hearing God? That's a hard one to answer.
Mm,
That's a
It
really
is.
hard one to answer.
It is.
Honestly, I would have to say just the first thing that came to mind is peace be still.
Mm,
And sometimes you have to be still to get whatever answers you're looking for. Sometimes the answers come to you and you don't realize it because you're searching for it instead of just waiting for God to reveal it to you. You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Yes.
And I'm not trying to sound all,
No,
mystical
but
and
that's
all
you.
that,
I think that's exactly what she wants. I think that's it, though.
but
The-
it's definitely being you have to be peaceful within yourself first and then let God just reveal it to you in his time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the best advice I could give is because I mean I went through a time in my life honestly way back and y'all already know my story because it was already put out there. I used to be on crack, okay? I used to be hitting that pipe like it was nobody's business back in them 80s. And it wasn't until I said, God, I can't do this by myself. I can't even think to try to do this by myself. I tried to give it up. I tried to walk away and I always went back to it. And when I put it in his hands and said, and I had to be specific. That's the one other thing oh Lord, thank you for telling me.
Yeah.
Ask God to specifically,
That's it. Yes.
oh my God, let me get it in the right words. Be specific in
Mhm.
what you ask for. And when I say that, I mean, if you have a prayer of some kind and you may not even know what you want, but
Mhm.
if you just tell God, look, you know what I need,
Mm.
and this is what I want. If it's in your will, do that for me. But if
Yes.
you know that there's an issue in your life that needs to change, ask Him to help you change it and tell Him the terms you would like to do that if it's in His will. And I'll use
Yeah.
this as an example. When I was trying to kick that crack pipe and I knew that it wasn't right for me, I knew it was going to kill me one day.
Yeah.
It was going to kill me one day. I was putting myself in bad situations that I could have lost my life. I was living in Oakland, California at the time.
Oh Lord.
So take what you want with that one.
Exactly.
But I had to ask, I told God, I said, Lord, you know this is not me. I wasn't created for this. I wasn't raised to be this way. But I need you to take the taste out of my mouth.
Mm.
I had to be specific
You gotta
because
say it. You gotta say it, sis.
that
I
particular
love that you
thing,
said that.
see, that particular addiction is more of a mental addiction than it is a physical.
Hmm.
Okay, meaning the challenge wasn't, oh, am I gonna get high today? No, I'm not because I ain't got no money in my pocket. That was the challenge, getting money and being able to not go down the street to the crack house.
Hmm.
That was the challenge. And I had to ask God to, first of all, take the taste out of my mouth. In other words, I said, Lord, what I need you to do for me is if I even think about it, make me feel physically ill.
Hmm.
And
Mm.
when I asked for that, he granted that for me. And I mean to tell you, the next time I had a desire to do it, I got physically ill
Hmm.
to the point where I ran in the bathroom, had a whole paycheck in my purse. I could have went and cashed it and went and just had a hootenanny day,
Yeah.
okay? But I had already asked him to take the taste out of my mouth and make me feel physically ill if I even have the inkling of a desire to go get high. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what he did. And do you know when that was? That was in June of 1988. And I ain't touched it since. I
Won't he
haven't
do
had a
it?
desire to touch it since because I was specific in what I asked for. So you have to
You
ask
have
him
to
for
be
what you
specific.
want and let him guide you because he'll let you know what it's going to take for you. But
Yeah.
you have to succumb to that and ask him for it. Otherwise, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to look for specifics because
Yeah.
you didn't ask for it.
You know, I will only add this. Um, when I s- this I got this. Um, Sometimes wanting to hear from God can be so overpowering that we are not hearing from God. So don't go into your prayer or go into your meditation with the thought that I got to hear from God. I got to hear from God. You go in and you know that what God has for you is going to be revealed if your heart is open, right?
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
you are intentional in your prayer,
Mhm.
and also if you say things like, this is what really had to move me to a different place in life. I had to recognize, even after I had learned that God had a calling for me and I was ready to walk in it, there were still people in my life that tried to toss that up and try to make me feel like I wasn't worthy of the calling. And so
Mhm.
I found myself saying, well, Lord, if this is really you telling me to do this, then why is this happening and why is that happening? And then one day God just literally said, be quiet. So when you
Yeah.
said peace, that's exactly it, peace.
Mhm.
Because when you
Mhm.
ask for everything else around you to be quiet, you
Mhm.
can have a conversation with God. And I always tell my children, they say, Mama, but, and I say, but nothing. Your
Mhm.
conversation with God is undeniable. You
Yeah.
know his voice. You
And
know
remove
his
all that background noise.
He will take everything else away. He will take everything else from around you so that you can hear what he is
Mhm.
saying to
Yep.
you.
Yep.
And then if the prayer is, I saw somebody say, sometimes it's just, I want to know if this is God's will. If this is, that's what you ask him, Lord, if this is your will for my life,
Mhm.
I need to know. God will send confirmation. Like I just said, Auntie Mickey will never know the confirmation she provided for me when she reached out and wanted to collab. That
Mhm.
was confirmation from God on some
Mhm.
decisions I've been making
Mhm.
regarding this whole YouTube life and
Yeah.
how I move in my relationships with people on here,
Mhm.
trusting God to heal me in places where I have been hurt. I think I had to say this specific prayer just not too long ago. I said, Lord, I need for you to clear up some things for me.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm being drawn back into relationships or directions that I don't think are healthy
Mhm.
and I don't think God approved of.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get into relationships and we go off on tangents and do things God ain't gave us the okay for it, but
Right.
we're all enthralled in it, and then it goes wrong, and we're crying, Lord, why did this happen? Because you
Mhm.
did not seek Him first, and you did not pray to Him about it.
Mhm.
And if yes, I told Empress, I asked Danny Lynn to get Auntie Mickey's link and drop it in the chat. Can you do it? One of y'all, please, before we get off, because I want everybody to be able to subscribe to her channel. Yes. Um, so yeah, so I am still at my big age ministering, still learning that God listens,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Just like we do, but on a grander scale that he wants to hear everything that's
Mhm.
going on. We can't just give God the things that we think matter, the big stuff. God
Right.
wants to hear about that little thing that keeps getting you drawn back into
Mhm.
this and that, because only through these relationships do we recognize it's God.
Mhm.
Only through these conversations, right? So
Right.
I wouldn't know God if I never talked to God. How
Mhm.
do I know his voice if I never try to have a conversation with him?
Mhm.
So for me, carving out one of the small closets in my house and making that my prayer closet was an intentional thing, because in there's nobody but me. And I can hear him and he can
Yeah.
hear me. And we can go back and forth for as long as it takes until I feel like I done either bored him enough or I didn't fell asleep.
Well, you know what I've noticed, and what works for me, because everybody doesn't have the same uh, blueprint
Right.
on how they
Right.
communicate with God. I communicate with God like He's one of my homies.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I'm like, Lord, look, check this out.
This is what's going on.
I'm
Yeah.
having this issue with this certain individual over here is tripping, and I need you to handle it, because if I handle it, I'm gonna mess up.
Yeah.
I have to talk to him like he's one of my homies, and I expect for the response to be likewise. I don't look for thus saith thus the Lord.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
I'm not looking for thou art
You ain't
this
looking
and
for the these and the
the
thuses.
these and the thuses and those.
There's Auntie Mickey's
Oh yeah,
link, you all. Please subscribe to our auntie.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, that is so true. Yeah.
But
But
yeah, talk
the
to him like
wording of the Bible gets you confused, and you feel like you got to be like,
absolutely.
oh Lord, wherefore out thou?
Yeah, and I bendeth on one knee and
Okay, I'm
pleadeth
down
with you
on one knee, and I
and
got to. I
can't get
remember,
up.
look, girl, I wouldn't be able to get up. If
Okay,
it called,
I'm on my bad knee, Lord. You're gonna have to help me
if
because
I
the
fell
knee
to
is
my
cracked.
knees every time I prayed, y'all would never hear from me again, because I would literally still be down there from 5 years or 6 years ago when my mama died. My knees are not my friend,
Oh,
okay?
honey,
I pray to God in
listen.
my bed. I pray to God leaning up against the washer. I pray to God
Okay,
sitting at the table, because my knees, no, God know better.
knees and back, knees and back. I don't know if y'all have ever experienced arthritis in the back, but it is no
Ooh,
joke.
honey.
It is no joke to have to sit all the
Mm,
time, but I'm not complaining.
right,
Thank God I can.
right.
But
Amen.
I
Amen.
just thank God that I've been able to, because I don't know if were you raised in the Baptist church, the Kojic
Yes.
church, Baptist church?
Baptist. Uh-huh.
I was raised in Church of God in Christ.
Oh, Lord, girl. Y'all have them Holy Ghost jump up and
We
down,
talking about folks rolling through the
running through.
aisles, speaking in
Yes.
tongues and foaming at the mouth and getting the Holy
Yes.
Ghost like that. And I had to evolve from that. And I'm not trying to sound sedity or nothing like that, but
No.
God don't operate like that with
Yeah.
everybody. I think a lot of that had to do with being performative in the church. People were judgmental, especially in the Kojic church, from my own experience, that, if you wasn't foaming at the mouth and speaking in tongues and tarrying and tarrying and tarrying, thank you, Jesus, thank you,
Uh-huh.
Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, you ain't gonna never get the Holy Ghost. That's not how it works.
Right.
That's not how it works. But we were in a time where, unfortunately, Black people were not as educated biblically as
Yeah.
they are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that we've evolved from that, we have to evolve our behavior as well. We can
Right.
still be in tune with the Lord and still have, a reasonable conversation without, and bowing and I mean, yes, we have to give homage to God, but
Yeah.
we took too much of what man expected of us instead of what God expected of us.
Yes.
He wanted
Yes.
homage, not paying. Don't do stuff to please man
Please,
and,
man. I
to
told him
make
that
them
also.
folks not talk about me.
Yeah.
I left the Church of God in Christ when I was 12 years old, and I'll tell you why. I wanted to get in the choir, and they told me, no, I'm not saved. 12 years old. I said, well, wait a minute. How do you know I'm not saved? Can somebody answer that question?
I don't.
And that was what made me leave the Church of God in Christ.
Yeah.
And I went on to the Baptist church. But
Yeah.
as a child to be told, no, you can't sing in the choir because you're
Yeah.
not saved. You don't know what conversations I've had with God. Okay.
No, my mama told me I met God when I remember when I don't know if you know this part of my story, but I did some time.
Mm.
I was on the opposite side of the crack pipe. I was selling it as a,
Mm.
and God and my parents caught up with me, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to go sit down for a while.
Mm.
And I remember telling my mama, I done met God in here and he has changed me and I'm so this. And my mama said, you met God when you was 9. She said you was 9 years old running around in the backyard with the Holy Ghost. You had started church with your sisters and brothers, and y'all was
Mm.
praying and you was preaching. And the next
Mhm.
thing I knew, you was screaming and hollering that the Holy Ghost had got a hold of you. She said, so I don't think that's where you met him. I think
Mhm.
that's where you have been reintroduced to him.
Yeah.
But again, your relationship with God is we were never taught our relationship with God was separate from the church. It
Mm.
was God, church, relationship, Jesus, Holy Ghost, everything was one big ball. And if you
Mhm.
didn't fall into that ball, if anything was different, you were to be
Outcast.
looked at as an
Yeah.
outcast. You weren't
Yeah.
doing it correctly.
Backsliding and all that
Yes, a
stuff. You're a
backslider.
backslider.
And so I agree with Auntie Mickey. Once you get older and you start to learn God, and this is why I preach over here all the time, get a relationship with him for yourself and start off with a relationship before you try to figure out a religion.
Mm-hmm.
Religion will make you run for the hills.
That's
It will
right.
have you feeling like God does not love you. It will have
Mhm.
you feeling like God does not appreciate your reverence to him. You're not
Mhm.
worthy of worshiping him. Do not. I hate when people say you should be this religion or that religion. I'm going to be what God would have me to be.
Listen,
Because the
religion
direct,
didn't get up on that cross and die for me.
come on, sis. And somebody asked me one day, they said, every time, it seemed like every day you give us the story of Jesus' death. I said, because that's the best part of our lives is
Mhm.
knowing that
That's the gift.
the gift was given and we
Mhm.
did nothing to deserve it.
Exactly.
And as somebody who is a vessel for the word, if I can't
Mhm.
get nothing else out, I got to let you know somebody gave up their life for you. That's
Mhm.
how important you are. That's how important you are. And so while the world might be trying to turn you inside out and turn you against God, I need for you to know that nobody can turn God against you.
No. No.
That's what's important.
That's true.
I think one of the girls had a question. I'm gonna let you take it. Let me
Which
go.
one is that? One more question. How
Yeah.
do ladies feel about divorce and remarriage biblically? Well, the Bible tells us if a man choose to keep his wife, wait, let me make sure I have this. Maybe I ought to call my husband. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have it all, I don't have it 100%. But there's a marriage. And if one chooses to stay married, that other person is biblically supposed to remain there. Biblically.
Yes.
If they depart from that, then that's on the person that departs the marriage. Hold on. Babe!
Look at that. We got on site. We got an on site
Babe!
question advocate for y'all.
Let me go get the pastor. Hold
Go
on.
get the pastor. Auntie Mickey's husband is a pastor. So we're gonna find out as much as we can about that question. I don't know. And to be honest with y'all, when it comes to divorce, I never even looked. Here for the tea. That's why you use the tambourine over here too, baby. He left.
Child, he done snuck out.
That's what they do once we
He done
get
snuck out.
caught
He
up in
can't wait for
something.
me to get online because then he knows he can leave and I won't even know.
He gonna say you was in there
You go,
online.
go and do what you got to do. You need
Yeah, go
soda.
ahead.
You need a soda.
Let me
But
grab you something.
that's what I may have it wrong, but and the reason I can say that is because in my family, um, I have a family member who was married
Oh,
and started messing with another woman, okay, who was not married. He was married, but she
it
wasn't.
was not.
And he decided that he didn't want his wife anymore,
Mm,
okay? His wife chose to stay with him anyway, okay? And because he insisted, he basically took her back home to her mama and said, "We're done," and went on and married this other woman. Well, what has happened as a result of that? That made that second woman his whore,
mm-hmm.
not his wife,
Not his
because
wife.
the first wife chose to stay with him,
Yeah.
and he rejected that and chose to leave the marriage. So it doesn't matter if you male or female. If you choose to leave the marriage and the other person chooses to stay and you leave, the one that decided that they wanted to stay and work on it can't be held at fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one leaving because their spouse chose to stay and work on it.
Yes.
So that's the best thing. I couldn't tell you the scripture. Don't get me the
I
line. I don't know the scripture.
yeah, I could probably look it up if I could. But I will add this. I know when my dad passed in 2005,
Hmm.
um, we never thought our mom would get remarried, but
Hmm.
lo and behold, she met some guy. I don't know, child.
And
Anyway,
that's legit. That's
so
legitimate
like right,
because he
because he passed
passed.
away.
Yeah.
But I remember our pastor telling her, he gave her this whole doom and gloom speech about how she couldn't get married again because it was adultery. And my mom was the pastor's secretary for 35 years.
That wasn't
She
true.
was the Sunday school secretary and on the board of committee. So she went and did her research and she came back to him and she said, "Now listen, you just don't like the man I'm about to marry. And you love my previous husband, but don't tell me just any old thing is in
Hmm.
the word of God, because that's not in the word of God." So
Hmm.
I think that it is considered to leave your marriage and
Hmm.
in search of another marriage is
Yeah.
adultery. It is
Right.
considered adultery.
And that's what Tequila said. So is that abandonment, adultery, or both? It's actually both.
Yeah,
It's both.
yeah,
You're abandoning your current spouse to be with another. As a matter of fact, they were messing around before anybody got a divorce. So, yes,
right.
adultery had already taken place. Adultery
Mhm.
took place first because adultery actually begins in the heart, not the physical. It's the heart. It's what you desire. If you desire to be with this person in an actual kind of way and you're
Right.
married to someone else, that is considered adultery, even though you
Well,
haven't physically acted on it.
Marcy said, "I believe you can be asked to be released from the covenant. I had
Hmm.
no choice but to divorce when my husband came out as gay." Well, see,
That
sis,
was
that's
him.
different.
That's
Yeah.
different. He walked away
He
to
left you.
appear, and in
Yes.
his heart, he walked away from the marriage
Yes.
when he stepped out of the covenant. He stepped out of the covenant with you.
And let me say this, even going into your union, if he knew he preferred
Exactly.
men, then he
Exactly.
he went against God.
Girl, get
And
out my
and
head.
and getting married to you with
Hmm.
men on the brain, he should have been trying to get that taste out of his mouth
That
to
was
be a proper
deceitful.
husband, right? So
He
he was
deceived
trying to
you.
he was trying to deceive you and God,
Hmm.
which we know you never get away with deceiving God. So I'm sorry that happened to you, sis. I'm sorry that
Yeah, me
happened to you,
too.
but
Marcy said, but
um,
in order to accept, I had to ask to be released for
yes,
myself.
yes.
Okay, you had to ask who?
I think she's saying she had to ask I think she's saying for her to accept that this was
Oh,
the
in
end
order
of
for
their
you to
marriage.
accept. Okay.
Right.
I
Yeah.
because some people, the church, sometimes depending on what church you're in, they expect you to come before the pastor or
Oh,
whatever and
yes,
tell
girl.
them,
Yes.
and they give you God. That's who you
Yes.
go before. God will tell
God.
you
That's
exactly
right.
what you should do. And in your particular case, yes, sweetheart,
That's
that's
right.
on him. That's on
Hmm.
him.
That's
You
right.
you hold no fault in that situation
You sure do not.
whatsoever.
And you keep your heart open because
Absolutely.
I guarantee you God has real love for you, honey.
That's right.
I
That's right.
asked him to release me from the journey, and he did. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Yeah. It
All
can get
right.
difficult. It can be a lot. But look, now
Mm-hmm.
we got a new spot to come and hang out
I
and talk
know.
about it all. I'm excited. Auntie
Yes,
Mickey, how
me
you feel?
too. I
Are
am
you
excited
excited?
about this.
I
Yes.
am too. I love this for us. I love this for the
Yes.
community. I love this for the sector. I'm
Mm-hmm.
55 and strong and recovered, raising my grandkids. Come on, Marcy. Marcy said, I am strong and recovered, baby.
I know that's right.
Raising my grandkids in purpose.
Okay.
Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
Happy Life. How you doing,
Hey, happy
sweetheart?
life. Y'all know somebody
Mm-hmm.
get security. Happy is.
Security. Oh, we're gonna have Happy Life come up one day and give us a solo.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do not today. I ain't ready.
No, I didn't. I wasn't talking about today either.
Happy Auntie
I'm
Mickey.
not feeling
Auntie Mickey,
it.
we gonna call you up one day.
We're gonna
One
call
day,
you up, have you give a solo.
give us so real though.
And trust me, we ain't gonna throw you out like they do in the Trevor Green videos.
Oh Lord, do they throw him out in the video?
Child,
Oh,
they
that's
carry him
happy.
out.
They be tossing.
They carry him out. Security carries him out with his little microphone, and he just be, if you happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you happy and you know it, clap your hands. If
Auntie
you happy
Mickey,
and you
if you
know
don't stop, because you're gonna get me started. You gonna get me started on this ET Bob,
I
girl.
love me some happy life, boy. I tell
You
you,
gonna get me started on that Bob that ET was winning. Now you know it's time for us
girl,
to go.
listen. When that and wait a minute, I know this might be too graphic because I'm old and the bladder is not what it used to be.
Mine
I
either.
had to run to the bathroom as soon as I seen that. I was
It
like,
was
"Oh,
too
I got to
much,
pee
wasn't
on myself." I was laughing so hard when that blanket or whatever came off, and
it?
I seen that
Girl,
bob and that
that
face, and
Bob.
I'm like, "Oh my God."
I felt bad for laughing so hard. I said, Lord, forgive me. But then I went back and rewound it so I could see
Okay.
it some more.
I was hollering. I was hollering. And then what is it she say again?
They want it with
They wanted
me.
with me. I said, what with you?
Girl, who wants what? Because me and you are jealous of her. So we want it with her because she got everything we could ever want
We
in life.
are.
We want it with her.
I don't want nothing with you.
Me
They
either.
want it
Me
with
either.
me. They want it with me. What with you?
This
What if
not even
you?
proper English.
It's
What did you want?
exactly.
What?
Ex-
What? You would have been better off saying they jealous of me.
Thank
They
you.
want it with me. People don't know what that means.
Or
Like
they
what?
want the smoke or something, but
Right.
they want it with me. That
That's why
was very
ET. That's
ET-ish.
why ET was the right one to bring
That
it.
was very ET-ish. I have to give it to him. I have to give it to him. I'm
Happy
just
Life
waiting for
said,
that. Mhm.
"Oh, I was gonna say Happy is giving you props." He said the only reason he survived on this app is because of you.
No, Happy. God bless you. I love you.
Oh
I love me some Happy.
my
They be
goodness.
they be they be messing with my happy life, but I love me some happy life. But I'm
Let
waiting
me
for that
see.
finger to light up.
Girl, when that
You
finger
can
light up, I'm
go
gonna be
right
gone
down
for.
the middle and part that bob real good. Get a nice good part right down the middle and put two
Girl.
ponytails in. Now
Oh
that'd be
my.
slick. That'd be slick, wouldn't it? 2 ponytails right here. Kinda, they got it with
They
me.
got it with me. With some little barrettes hanging off of
Oh
it.
my God. Little bow barrettes, or get one of them headbands that Maggie wear, with the
Girl,
little ears on it.
I can't. Every time you say that name, I feel sick.
Oh,
Marcy
I
said, you
know.
know what would be funny? A speed round. One word to describe the creators or in the sector.
That
Just one
would be
word to
cool.
describe the creators or in the
One
sector.
word, and make up a list of content creators,
Okay.
and start from the bottom up to the top, just like
Yeah.
OKP's and Sean Davy Way's list.
Yeah.
The top 3 lists are, I think it was OKP and Sean Davy Way that made the list. They're the ones that originally started the list. So if we did the top 20 content creators, starting from number 20 on up, and we do just what that suggestion was. What was the
Describe one word to describe each
one
creator.
word description?
That
would be fun.
would be fun.
That would be fun, and we have to do it on the fly.
Yes. It
We
cannot
can't.
be anything we practiced or
Pre-existed.
discussed.
Nope.
Okay.
No pre anything. We got to do it right on the spot.
Yes.
So yeah,
So,
maybe we'll work on that.
yes, we will work on that one because that is
Take
going to
some
be fun.
suggestions. Take
That
some
is going to be
suggestions
fun.
on
Y'all give
people.
us suggestions, and
Yeah.
then we'll take our suggestions and see if we approve.
Absolutely. Something ain't gonna get us in trouble.
Because we don't want nobody to want it with us.
I don't want it with you.
Oh
Keep
my
it from
goodness. Keep
me.
it right. Keep it away
Oh,
from me.
Lord have mercy. I was
Child.
like, what in the world is she talking about? They want it with me.
That's because we mature. We don't know what that
I
means.
guess.
Yes, they want it
Well,
with me.
so is band canceled? That's the question of the
I
day.
think so.
I would hope so, because I
I'm
canceled him
hoping.
a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll never know because we're not going to look. So, I think she was trying to bring him back to life
Oh God,
for
please
their
don't.
relationship to matter. But as far as the rest of us with good sense, I think he gone on about his business.
I
He
think
left.
so.
He left when Phantom left. They walked out the same door, never to return again.
Now that's the thing I didn't know about. I didn't know Phantom was no longer in the sector. I see how much
Yeah.
I keep
Well,
up.
I kind of wish Phantom would come back though. I think Phantom has potential. But the other one, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Do y'all have anything else before we get ready to go? We've been on here for 2 hours, Auntie. We see how conversation
Time
goes.
be flying, don't it? We gonna definitely do this next week.
Yes.
So me and Lady Letitia, we do a Hot Topics on Friday nights.
Okay. On your channel?
Well, we kind of go back and forth. I think it'll be on my channel tomorrow night, I think. But y'all set your notifications either way.
Yes.
But yes, we gonna do this every week.
Yes, every week, child.
And yeah, because
yes, indeed.
we don't have to prepare and write a whole dialogue and all that stuff.
No,
we just talk off the top of our heads. It's cool with me.
Just talking life, having a good time. Y'all know we don't take ourselves too serious.
We don't.
We got too much to be grateful for. We can't get caught up in all the seriousness of it.
Maybe Trevor Green will put us in his next video.
Oh, he might. The auntie.
as the two aunties.
The two auntie. I'm gonna need Trevor to give me a little bit more fat in the face. He got me looking kind of
up a little bit. Yeah,
pump me up a little. I didn't ate a little bit now.
Yeah, yeah. And if you ever decide, you may never decide to put me up in there. Please don't. Just be nice.
Be nice. He is gonna have you looking just as beautiful as you look right now.
I've only been in one of his videos. Only one. It was a long time ago. and I think I was having a conversation with Lady Letitia, and the videos didn't even look like they do now. They
Oh,
were cute,
okay.
but they were a different
Yeah.
type of cartoon. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, the Black tea sector has so much potential.
It really does. It
Just
really
to take
does.
conversations and do what you want with. He can. That man is a genius.
He is.
He
And I
is
just
a
don't know
stone
why this
genius.
girl is trying to ruin his YouTube life. But what goes around comes
And
around,
what
honey.
is she trying to ban him or
It says
something
she
like that?
doxed him last night, gave his real name, showed his real uh what's it called? Mugshot. But this is where I'm confused. Did she show the
I
real
didn't.
Trevor Green's mugshot, or did she
I
show
don't know.
Trevor who does the channel's mugshot? Because Trevor who does the channel is Trevor who is the Trevor. I'm confused.
You know what? At this point, I could give two shits.
I don't care about nothing
I
she
don't
do
give two shits
at
about
all.
what he looked like, who he is. The man is talented. And
Talented.
see, you do crazy stuff, you do play crazy games, you get crazy
Crazy
prizes.
prize.
And
Yeah.
that shit's gonna backfire.
Yeah.
It's gonna backfire. If you
Yes,
think you're
indeed.
harming somebody, you just giving him more clout.
Yep.
That's how I look
Yeah.
at it. You giving him
That's
more
exactly
clout.
what it is. For people who
Hmm
don't know, they gonna know and they gonna want to know
Ain't nobody
more
running
about him.
away from Trevor Green because you doxed him.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I
I
said. Are we
mean,
supposed to not like
please.
Trevor now? Okay. It's gonna
You're
be
gonna
more of us
dox the
over there
man. So
next
what
time.
is that supposed to do?
Right. What does that mean? So we don't even know if that's who he is. So we taking her word for it. Like,
Exactly.
go on somewhere, girl. You the most
Exactly.
hated. Stay over there and be hated. I don't understand how
Most
somebody
hated and berated at this point.
and how do you want to be hated? But when the folks hate
Why?
you, you're in your feelings. Be hated.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I
Well,
just
we
don't.
gonna get ready to go.
Okay,
But
sweetheart.
we have enjoyed being here together and we have enjoyed having y'all in the chat. It has been so much
Yes.
fun.
Thank
Here
you.
for the T said earlier, she said it's only 17 people in here and the sector's supposed to change. This is good. But
But
if
you,
people have to hear about it, they'll
but you
have
know
to
what?
grow. And
There's something going on here on YouTube, honestly. I
yeah.
noticed it yesterday about the numbers.
Oh, yeah, for
Um,
sure.
it
Yeah,
was
because I'll
really
get off of
weird.
here. Yesterday we got off, or this morning we got off, and it was like 60 people in the chat, but it was like 600 people in views. So I don't know,
Mhm.
y'all. Who knows? But
Well, yesterday, and I think it might have been a YouTube glitch along with StreamYard. First of all, my music wouldn't play.
uh,
Um, for a minute, people couldn't hear it. Uh, Usually, I have maybe up to 50 people on a regular day.
uh,
And yesterday, I had like 15 people in
yeah,
there. And I'm talking about Nolan Wells
yeah,
on the day of his birthday.
yeah.
And so it was really strange when I tried to exit. I exited out of the live just as I always do,
Uh,
and it played the outro. And when the outro music was done, I clicked the X to exit out of the screen. And then the leave came up where I can click on that. Do you
uh,
know it didn't disconnect the live? I went back about 15, 20 minutes later and the
it was
live
still
was
going.
still going.
Yeah,
And
I've
I
seen
had to
that too on other people's channels.
yeah, I had to go through YouTube to have them end the live.
Oh wow. I think it's StreamYard. I think they charge a whole bunch of money for a whole bunch
Mm,
of red tape and
mhm.
nonsense. But
Well, I was really disappointed because yesterday was a good live, and
yeah.
just like today, I think that more people would probably be here if there wasn't somebody or something going on with YouTube, because I
Yeah,
believe
I believe so too.
somebody would have seen this and said, "Oh."
Oh no, right? Not them two together.
But now next time, can you turn it on to where I can stream with you as well?
Yes, that's what I meant to
If you do
ask
that, we'll have
you.
more in there. So,
Yes,
yeah,
co-stream. Yes,
yeah.
we will do that. We will do that next
Yeah,
week.
we gonna do this next week.
Oh yeah. We'll be
Yeah.
back, y'all. So if you
All right.
missed it, if you're on the replay,
Please
we will
do.
be back. I
Give
love
give
y'all.
Auntie Val some watch hours, y'all.
Yes, y'all
Please.
watch. Please subscribe.
Yes.
The most hated Princess of the Bob over there. She says I'm trying to get my channel off of her name. Now I don't even listen.
Get
Y'all
your
know I
channel
don't
off
need
of your
that.
name. Off of whose name?
She said I was using her name to get.
You want it with me?
Yes,
No, getting the
yes,
channel off of
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Well,
So
maybe her
anyway,
and Jag can collaborate and they can build it
yeah, that's
together
what
up,
we know they gonna do. We know
Y'all
they
do
gonna.
you, stay over
But
there.
so
All
okay,
right,
y'all. Well,
y'all.
Auntie, thank you, sis, for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, you guys. I love you. We'll see you
Love
next
you.
week.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, hon.
Okay, everybody. I'm out too. Bye
Me
bye.
too. Bye-bye.